What would happen if you invested $60 every single day? Well, I've been doing that for a little over a year. This is another weekly update. Okay, thank you for coming to Your Relationship with Money. This is the channel where I talk to people about their relationship with money, life, business, and everything else. And I also have a challenge where I invest $60 every single day. Finally have a line of sight on exactly what I want to do with this channel. I've been going back and forth and trying to figure it out. And guys, we've got some cool stuff cooking. I've got this massive LED wall behind me. The last video I did, I was up there on the stage. It was pretty cool. Gonna do some more stuff like that. And yeah, just better, bigger interviews and things like that. But let's go ahead and get into it. If you're new here, my name is Forrest. I invest in stuff. I think that everybody should too. I'm a day trader. I day trade as a source of income, and I've done all types of stuff. I consider myself not just a trader, but an entrepreneur and a creative, honestly, just like making stuff. Kind of this series, the point of this series is I have an account that I started from zero. Okay, and you can go back to the very beginning of this channel. And I just invested originally $50 a day, and then I increased it to $60 a day. And we're going to keep doing that into infinity. I want to start a community, I think, around long-term investing. Even though I'm an entrepreneur and a trader, something that I'm really passionate about, especially in this economic environment. Let's be real, guys. The world is a little scarier today than it has been. Not to go too deep down that rabbit hole. And I think it's important for us to create resources that just make it a little bit easier for everyday people to, find financial security, whatever that looks like. So I'm going to spend some time on that and just have some links with some free resources. That's something that I've been pushing off, but I've just been busy. But I do want to provide that value to you all. So let's go ahead and take a look at the Robinhood account. So this is my Robinhood account. Have it up on the screen right now. You can see it's at $14,006. I have $121 buying power. So the last 2 days, I forgot to do my $60 a day. That's fine. I'll just DCA into the market. I like to use ChatGPT for this. It's very accessible for people. So let's just look for what the actual definition of dollar cost averaging. What is dollar cost averaging? Okay. It's going to think for a little bit. And dollar cost averaging, well, let's use the official definition, is an investment strategy where you invest a fixed dollar amount into a particular asset. For example, stocks, ETFs, crypto at regular intervals, regardless of its share price at purchase. Okay. And if we look at the benefits here, it reduces your timing risk. Okay. You avoid trying to time the market highs and lows, smooths volatility. Okay, buying consistently means you naturally buy more on dips and less on peaks. This is really important. This lowers your average cost per share. If we look at the charts, and let's go ahead and take a look at, say, SPY. Actually, we'll look at VOO, which is what I actually invest in, and we'll go to the daily. We'll look way back in time. Let's actually go to the weekly. Okay, the weekly chart. I don't really do too much charting on this channel, but I think it's important to show here. Okay, on the weekly chart, we can see how there's these massive dips. These are buying opportunities in real time, and we're in one right now. In real time, it's scary, right? It's scary right now, like with what's happening with tariffs and things like that. But look what happens out of these dips, guys, right? So long as the world doesn't end, and hopefully it doesn't, these are really good buying opportunities. So dollar cost averaging means, yes, you buy the peaks, you get these peaks, but you also get the best prices as well, which just makes it a really good long-term investment strategies. Okay, it builds discipline and it's accessible for smaller budgets. This is what I like as well. Okay, it allows you to bankroll something, and then having a bankroll too, the benefit of that a lot of people don't talk about is you do plain old boring investments. That allows you to do not plain old boring investments, like start a business and things like that, because you have money in the bank. Okay, super duper important. And let's just ask chat again. Okay, what is the result of investing $60 a day? And we're gonna do I'm 34, so I'll just use myself as an example. It's simple. Let's assume the retirement age is 65. So I'll do 32 years. So I'll say, what is the result of investing $60 a day for 32 years, compounded annually at 10%? We'll be more conservative, 8% interest rate. Okay. I do this in every single video. I think it's important, so you get the point every single time. And I'll ask it to create a graph of that. Maybe it will automatically. ChatGPT is doing some weird stuff. Now it's showing me the math. Okay, that's cool. Actually, this future value function. Okay, this is some fun. It's good to put this into memory. I actually know this off the top of my head, believe it or not, which is just some weird nerdy stuff. It doesn't mean I'm going to do the math by hand every single time. Spend a lot of time doing math in college. But yeah, so future value, where P is equal to 21,900, assuming you invest $6 every day, 21,900 per year at 8%, right? This is your principal, 21,000 principal. Interest rate in is your number of periods or years. Okay, and you do some math on it and you get a little under 3 million. Okay, really, really good number. Can you graph this for me, please? And it'll spit out a graph for us. So this is the whole point of this. This little account, which I don't need to do it on my phone, we'll let this crank in the background, is already at $14,000. I started this channel and really this series a year ago, guys. So really, really powerful stuff. If we go to the 3 months, we can see here that because of the whole situation with tariffs and the down market, it's not at peak value, but that's fine. So like I said, I've been buying VOO. So we'll go to VOO. There's some other holdings in there. When I started this, I was doing like a challenge with my day trading community, but now this is really just focused on long-term investing. So VOO, my average cost is $524. Okay, you can see that it closed at $517. So my cost is actually higher than the current price. So what would I do to lower my costs? I'd buy more shares at this current price at dollar cost average. Okay, it's 76% of my portfolio. It's down right now, but that's fine. The market is down. Okay, $10,560 of my total account. We'll just review the total account just for the sake of clarity. So I've got VOO, Palantir, NVIDIA, Microsoft, TSM, SoFi, MicroStrategy, and Rivian. I've just been buying Rivian because I like Rivian long term. It's a company I'm bullish on. I also buy this in my big boy portfolio. So let's see what this looks like graphed. Okay, copy the table to a spreadsheet, create a line chart, visualize this for me on a chart. I don't know why it did that. So ChatGPT 100% can make graphs. It just chose not to, which is pretty interesting. It says the user wants me to visualize something on a chart again. This is so weird. Why is it doing it like this? This is so an ASCII style chart. Create an infographic style chart. This is so weird. It's never done this. If you look at my other videos, it might be the model that I'm using is like avoiding creating images because images are very expensive for the LLM. And so they've perhaps optimized it to try and skirt doing image generations, for general questions, right? For example, the amount of CPU used for this is probably less than that. Speaking of long-term investing, AI. So you'll notice in my portfolio, there's not like a specific AI set of stocks, but that's all baked in the VOO. So any explosive growth in the market, like NVIDIA, for example, which I do have some separate shares of, that is captured by buying a basket of stocks, right? So I created an infographic style chart as an SVG illustrating. So it just straight up exploded. That is really, really interesting. Well, it typically will work. There's another place we can go, which is investing.gov. Actually, let's go to compound interest calculator. Okay. This is the other place to do it. So let's assume this is your first video. We'll type in 0. Monthly contribution. It's $300 a week. So $60 a day times 5 days in the week when the market's open. $300 a week. 3 times 4 is 12. So 300 times 4 is 12. It's $1,200 a month. Length of time in years is going to be 32 years. 8% interest rate. Okay, we'll hit calculate. Gives me 1.932 million. Okay, so it's doing a little bit different math on the compounding than ChatGPT. We'll need to check that. It doesn't really matter. So you can always check the math and see if it's adding in more periods or if it's compounding, more frequently than annually. This one I know is compounding annually. Suffice to say, okay, I still have a $2 million account. 2 to 3 million, 3 to 4 million, whatever it is, doesn't matter. If we do 10% interest rate, this is going to go up substantially. You can see that we're here at 2.896 million. So this is a chart that you can always use. There's tons of tools out there. Okay. If I increase my monthly contribution to 2,200, okay, and do this again, you can see it goes up to 5 million. So totally worth it. We can get real crazy, go $5,000 a month. Okay. Results are in. I've got $12 million. Totally worth doing. So if you can muster it together, if you're a high potential earner, maybe, you've only got 20 years. Okay. It's still better than nothing. So let's reduce the amount of years. We'll see that time is the most important component in this calculation. Okay. Even just chopping off a decade reduces this substantially, but it's still 3.4 million in the bank that you wouldn't have otherwise. That's the whole point of the series, guys, is you'll have more money than you would have otherwise. So that is it. Go ahead, subscribe, comment down below, and see you in the next one.